Good morning. We are filling out schedule C and we just work on part 1. And by the way, when I was working on part 1 and I type in the gross receipts, I didn't put the right number. It was 48.35, I believe, and I put 38, so I changed it to 48. So now we are going to work on part 2 of schedule C, which is expenses side. But we are going to work on, let me see if I have it open here, is we are going to do a portion of the expenses side of it. So it's going to be line 8 to line 17. So let's get started to see what part of your expenses will go on schedule C. Form 1040 part 2 expenses, line 8 to line 17. Once again, if you have your own sole proprietor business, you will fill out schedule C. If you have an L.L.C. or a partnership type of business, you are the only owner, you'll fill out schedule C as well. And right now, part 2 expenses, and as you can see, I fixed the number here is 48. I don't know if I still have it open. The income, the total gross, the gross revenue is 48, not 38. So I updated, and our gross income is 40. So now let's see what goes into part 2. 8, advertising. So here, if you have business card that you made during the tax year, you can put the cost here. Also, if you use the traditional advertisement route, any expense related to that will go here. And I will suggest as well, these days we have different way of promoting our products. I'm trying to see if I have one here, but if you have a pen, don't know if you'll be able to see it, but if you have a pen with your business information on it or logo that you send out to customers to promote your product or your business, that will fall under that category as well as advertising. So all of that will go here. Car truck expenses. Well, this here you have the option for actual expenses or take the standard deduction. And in our case, we are taking the standard deduction, and let's see how much it's going to be. I calculated here to be 2.75, but I think I'm using a mileage here that is a little bit lower than what is allowable in 2019. 2019, I believe, is $0.58. So let's go back here, but pretty much the mileage was 5 miles, and I believe we fill up part 4 with that information as well. So the business miles is 5, that times 58 cents, let me just put it here, equal 0.58 times 5, about $2.90. So if we go back to our form, so that means before you can do this part 2, you have to fill up part 4. Here we'll put 3 as our expenses. But let's talk about a little bit about expenses that will go here. If you are trying to deduct actual expenses, that will include your gas, oil change, repair, tolls, parking fee, depreciation, but the depreciation will go on line 13. If you have a lease car, the lease payment will go on line 20. And here you'll take those expenses like repair, oil change, gas, all of that here as the actual expense. But there is a condition to use actual expenses, and let's read that. So if you are not leasing your car or use a standard deduction the year before. So if you are not leasing the car and using the standard deduction the year prior with that lease car, then you can use the actual expense. So if you operate 5 or more cars at the same time, like in a fleet business, for example, if that's what you do, you have to use actual expense. That's a must. It's not an option right there. And to those, so to the expense that you are going to add to line 1, you should have your gas, oil, repair, insurance, license plate. I have not talked about those two. Those are the costs, the actual costs related to your business side of a use of the car that you are going to put online. Was it 9? Probably, yes. And as I said before, depreciation will go on line 13, and lease payment, if you are leasing the car, will go on line 20A. And in what case can you use a standard deduction? And by the way, I'll put my notes in the description, and I think I might have it on my blog as well. So if you own the car and use the standard mileage for the first 5 years that you put the car in business, when you start your business, you can use the standard mileage. If you lease the car and since you start leasing the car, you use the standard mileage, pretty much the whole time you are leasing the car, you can continue to use it. And that's 58 cents a mile for 2019. So you have to take that times the business miles for the year. And to that total, you'll add your parking fee and tolls fee. So they'll be added to it. And in my case here, we don't have parking fee or toll fee. So we just use 58 cents times the business mile, which is 3. And there is a way we track our business mile. And I have it on the spreadsheet as well. The spreadsheet has many, it's a workbook that has many sheets. And I believe I have, I'm not seeing it right away here, car. Here where I track the mileage and all that. So that's this one related to this business that we are trying to claim here. So commission and fees. For the commission, when you hire people to work for you, or when you pay commission, when the commission is $600 or more, you have to use 1099 miscellaneous to report that to IRS to be able to deduct it here. So keep that in mind, that when people are working for you that you are not employing, you are paying them. When you pay more than $600 to one of them, it's good to issue 1099. And I believe you have to send them 1099 miscellaneous, and you might have to send one to IRS at the end of the year as well. Pretty much reporting. Well, I'm not entirely sure, but that's the way it works, or something similar. You have to give 1099 to miscellaneous to whoever to be able to claim it here, and probably you'll have to report it to IRS as well. So contract labor is the same thing. When you have contractor working for you, $600 and more that you pay to a contractor, you have to issue 1099 miscellaneous to that contractor and probably report it to IRS as well. So we have depreciation. Depreciation is where your car depreciation will go if you are using standard actual expenses. And for the depreciation, I believe it's 4562 that you have to fill. I'm not seeing it here, but I believe that's what it is, the form. But when you claim depreciation, there is time you have to add it to the form, to your tax return, and mail it to IRS. And there is time you don't have to. So if you purchase an office supply or an equipment for your business and you depreciate it, let's say you purchase it in the year 2019 and you start using it for the business that same year, well, you will use 4562 if I'm not mistaken. That's the form for depreciation. You'll fill it out and you will attach it to the form as well. But if whatever you are depreciating, you didn't start using it for the business in 2019, you started before that, and you are continued depreciating it, you don't have to add form 4562 to your form. If you are using section 179 to claim all the cost of an item that should be depreciated, you have to add your depreciation form to it as well. Let's check that part 3 to see if we have the proper number for that form. Is it part 3 here? Let's go down. Yes, form 4562, depreciation. And if you are using leased property in your business, you will attach 4562 to the form as well, if that's what you are depreciating. And I don't know if there is another condition that you should attach your form. Let's see if I have a note here for it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So, and we'll talk about depreciation probably another time, how to calculate the depreciation amount. Employee benefit program. So if you have employees, you pay them benefits, you'll put it here. And employees probably is not you included. But once again, if you pull the instructions for Schedule C, you'll find the information there, what kind of benefit you should be deducting. Insurance, other than health, will go here. And interest will go here as well. So, but for interest, we have mortgage. So if you have a real estate that you use for your business and you pay mortgage on it, the mortgage interest will go here that you pay to the bank. So, and legal and professional services, accountant, tax professional, lawyer, anyone on those categories that you involve with the business, so for the to solve a business matter, you'll put those fees here. Or if you use a tax professional to file your business taxes, if you are filing 1040, Schedule C is included. So you just have to see how you can split the whole cost so that you can have the part that is related to Schedule C here. Some tax professional charge by form. You can ask how much they are charging for Schedule C and anything that is involved with Schedule C, like depreciation form 4562 and expenses, deducting the business use of your house form attached to that 8829. You can ask them all the form that is involved with filing Schedule C, how much they are charging you for it, so that you'll be able to deduct that year the following year. So that's what goes into your part 2 of Schedule C form 1040, expenses from line 8 to line 17. For more information, you can pull Schedule C Form 1040 instructions from IRS website to read more about the different components of those expenses. And I'll have my notes in the description as well for your review. Thank you for watching. I'm Afiavi Ojune Liberman, Career Supplement Consulting L.L.C YouTube channel and owners of Nina Soap. And our website is ninasoap.com.